Howdy folks, welcome back to the shed once more. Here we have a HO Sierra 460 made by Arbor Models. This is a kit that was very kindly extracted from the US of A by Mr. Anthony Dodge, a great friend across the pond. Two kits actually. The first one is the Sylvania 460 and the object of my desire, the Sierra 460. So it's two kits, both made of nickel cadmium? Not nickel cadmium, zinc cadmium. Right, but they are both very similar. Wheel arrangement, 6 driving wheels there, and the pilot wheels at the front, 4 of them. But there are differences in the bodies. Both Rogers Locomotive Works engines. You can see the taper of the body is different there than it is to there, and the domes again are in different placement. So although similar engines, this one obviously has the Westinghouse pump. Both very similar engines, but of course this one probably the most famous of the lot. Casey Jones, Back to the Future. It's been in an awful lot of films. So I thought I'd show the contents of the kit today. So we'll just put that a little more secure. Get some of the paperwork out. Various bits and bobs. And then what you get is 2 sets of parts. There's some wooden, you have to build up the cab on this one. And there's the steps that go down the side of the boiler. The boiler itself and a weight to go inside it. Various other parts, steam domes. You've got various smokestacks there. And this comes plastic shrink wrapped onto card, so none of the parts can become missing, which is a great idea. Let's move on to the second one, if I can extract it from the box. Oh, here we go. Which is a great idea for parts. And let's just open this one up. And lots of other parts there. There's the tender wheels. There are the pilot wheels there. The main frame. The pilot. And various other bits and pieces. There are the rods and the steam chest and the pistons and the tender, mostly on this one. And then you get various other, what would you call those? It's like metal wire to do the handrails and stuff. In the little black box here, there is a Sagami motor and all of the screws and bits and pieces to put it all together. So that's in that one. Moving along to the Sierra. Very similar in its format. Let's just open this one up. There we go. In this one you've got the 6 driving wheels. There's the screw thread that goes along to drive the whole thing. There's the chassis, the pilot wheels, the steam chest. So it's all very similar. There's a brass part there. And of course these are all shrink wrapped down, so they can't move or get destroyed, which is a very good idea. Obviously the tender parts there. Moving along to the second one, here we have the boiler. There's the boiler and a boiler weight to go inside it. The end of the boiler there. 2 different types of steam chimney. The domes, headlight and other various parts. The cab, obviously this one is metal, and the cab sides and the rails along the boiler. This time you've got your metal work actually under the plastic there, and again the Sagami motor, which is in there with all the little screws and bits to put it all together. This week and last week were a hell of a time because we had Getz to go along to, and we got various bits there. There's an APT, which was relatively cheap considering it's got DCC sound in it. Richard bought that one. He also bought this one, which is a Bullitt Pacific, Canadian Pacific, that one. We also managed to get another one of the Bullitt wagons from Dapol, and then there's these two which I shall be running on Sunday, which are Director of Civil Engineering mobile track assessment cars that came in a twin pack, and that was a bargain. It was £90 for the twin pack, so that's £45 per coach, and that was a Model Zone exclusive. Model Zone, of course, are no more. And on the end, another one of the Pullman coaches, which I believe is the minibar. That's not all, folks. That's not all, because at this end I managed to pick up this 4CEP in British Rail Green for the princely sum of £125, and it had never turned a wheel, so I'm absolutely thrilled about that. That's not the only thing. We got to meet the wonderful Anthony and Joyce Dodge, and Anthony brought this over from the States for me, which is this little beauty. It is the CB&Q K2 10-wheeler. Again, look at the wheel arrangement. Very, very similar to the Sierra 460 and the Sylvania 460. Again, this is a Rogers locomotive, but this one is the first one I've got in brass, and it does run. Obviously it's without lubrication at the moment, but the box looks something like this. It's a nickel plate products, CB&Q K2 10-wheeler. So I'm absolutely thrilled about that. That's not the only thing I got, because on the other side, hiding there, a new Jupiter from Bachmann. This one had a bit of a strange nuance, that it tended to stop on every revolution of the wheel. You know, I got it sorted out, but it turned out that there was a bit of metal work actually on the rim of the tyre, and it took an awful lot of stripping down before I found the obvious. So you tend to get stuck in what you think it might be, and when really you ought to just sit there and look at the evidence. Anyway, it's sorted now, and I should be able to run that quite nicely on Sunday. So I look forward to seeing you if you come back on Sunday for the Hot Dog Pilot live stream on Sunday. I'll put my teeth back in, and we should have some fun then with the new acquisitions. So this is Andy saying cheerio for now, and happy hunting. Bye bye.